All right, today we are diving deep into the world of Robert Greene. We're going to distill his incredibly potent and, let's be honest, often controversial playbook for navigating the world. A world that isn't always what it seems on the surface.
And let's just jump right in with a quote from the man himself. If we were just always telling people what we really thought, our world would collapse tomorrow. And right there, that's the core of his entire philosophy. The idea that, to some degree, we are all actors on a stage. So that immediately brings up a huge question, right? If life is a performance, if we're all playing a part, how do you actually win in a world full of actors? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. Let's start with the first piece of the puzzle, the counterintuitive path to success. See, according to Greene, real mastery doesn't start by chasing what everyone else has. It starts by making a very, very different choice, especially early on in your life. Okay, so look at this. It's like you're at a crossroads. On the left, you've got the money-first path. Your motivation is security, so your strategy is just imitation. You climb the corporate ladder, you take the safe bet. But Greene says this path, 9 times out of 10, leads to stagnation. Now look at the other side, the learning-first path. Here, your motivation is pure experience. You're innovating, taking risks, maybe in some scrappy startup. The potential outcome, it's sky high. And this quote just perfectly captures the mindset you need. If you're young, be willing to be poor. You're going to learn, and you're going to be excited, and you're going to take risks. You're basically making a conscious trade. Short-term comfort for long-term skills and massive opportunity. Okay, so you've picked your path. What's next? Well, the next step is completely internal. It's all about mastering your inner game. This is where you transform your mindset so that every single moment, no matter how boring or mundane, becomes a source of power for you. And the key concept here is something Greene calls alive time versus dead time. Think about it. Dead time is when you're just passively waiting for something to be over. You're at a boring job, just watching the clock thinking, I can't wait for this to end. But alive time? That's when you use that exact same moment as a learning experience. You start observing people, studying your craft, analyzing what's going on around you. You literally turn wasted time into wisdom. And this is huge. Preparation isn't some boring chore you have to do. It's the source of all your calmness and confidence. When you actually plan and think through the possibilities, you just eliminate so much of the chaos and anxiety. You gain this incredible sense of control. Greene uses this amazing metaphor for it. He says, life is like a battlefield. If you climb to the top of the mountain, you see everything clearly. And that's what preparation is. It's the climb. It gives you this strategic, almost godlike perspective over all the chaos happening down below. So, now that we've started to master our inner world, it is time to look outwards. It's time to learn how to read the unspoken language. This is the absolutely essential skill of understanding what people are really saying, far beyond their carefully chosen words. And according to Greene, there are 4 key channels that basically never lie. The eyes, the voice, the smile, and body language. Think of these as windows into a person's true emotional state and their real intentions. Let's start with the eyes, because they reveal everything. Real engagement is in the eyes. But fake interest? That often comes with what Greene calls dead eyes. They're fixed on you, but there's no light, no energy. They're looking at you, but not into you. They see you as an object, and their eyes give them away every single time. Next up, the voice. This might be the hardest thing for anyone to fake. Hesitation, a weak tone, stammering. Those aren't just verbal tics. They are super reliable signs of a lack of confidence or some hidden emotion. You have to learn to listen for that slight crack when they're nervous or the flatness in their tone when they're bored. It's all data. And then there's the smile. You know, a real authentic smile is a full face event. It lights up everything. The cheeks lift, the eyes crinkle at the corners. But most smiles we see every day, they're just social masks. They only involve the mouth. The trick is to become a student of people, to learn what triggers a genuine reaction versus a polite, forced one. Okay, so you can read people. Now what do you do with that information? Well, this final section is all about applying that knowledge so you can navigate the social battlefield. It's about defending yourself and identifying the hidden threats in your environment. And the first rule of this battlefield is so simple, but it is so profound. You are literally infected by the people you surround yourself with. Emotions are contagious. You will absorb the energy, the anxieties, the confidence of your circle, whether you want to or not. So the choice becomes incredibly clear. The insecure person, they are just draining. All they do is talk, they don't act, and their anxiety starts to make you feel insecure. But the confident person, they're energizing. They focus on action, and that positive can-do energy is absolutely infectious.
But there's a really specific threat we need to talk about, the frenemy. Now, this isn't just a rival. This is someone who befriends you out of a deep, subconscious envy. They want what you have, and their so-called friendship is just a way for them to get close enough to you to sabotage you.
So how in the world do you spot one? Well, Greene actually gives us a technique for this. He calls it the surprise test. You approach them unexpectedly. For just a split second, before they can put their social mask on, you will see a flash of their true feeling, and it's usually disdain or contempt. That flash, that tiny micro-expression, that is the truth. The forced smile that comes a second later, that's the lie. But the number one biggest sign of a frenemy, they are in a huge rush to be your friend. Think about it. Real friendships, they develop slowly, organically, but an envious person is in a hurry to get into your inner circle. That intensity just isn't natural, and it is a massive, massive red flag. And this brings us completely full circle. All of these skills, the learning, the preparation, the observation, they all lead back to this one incredibly powerful idea. Like Greene says, climbing up that mountain and seeing further into the future is being like a god. It's about achieving a level of mastery that feels almost superhuman. So we end right where we began. Greene's work forces us to admit that, yeah, we are all actors on life's stage. And that leaves us with only one real question. What role will you choose to play?